Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to another Yap session. That is back-to-back Yap session videos. But hey, you guys seem to be loving these videos. I love making them. You guys seem to love hearing me talk about football, and I love talking about football. So it's truly a match made in heaven. It's like peanut butter and jelly, or Ronaldo and a little kid holding out his foot at Goodison Park. It's honestly, it's a perfect combo. It goes together so well. So anyway, today I decided to do another one. And today is going to be on Real Madrid. Obviously, my last two Yap sessions were on Barcelona, which is obviously my club. But today we're going to talk about the rivals. And if you know me from TikTok, this might seem a little bit weird because obviously I don't like Real Madrid whatsoever. I constantly troll them. I troll their fans. I think it's funny as fuck to get under their skin. But here on YouTube, I kind of want to be less trolly and just give you guys more my opinion. Be less tribal. Now, full disclosure, I am a very tribal football fan. If you watch my videos, I'm sure you can tell. I love my club. I want us to be Real Madrid and everything, whether it's chess, checkers, bowling, swimming, rugby, Eurobasket. I don't give a fuck. As long as the red and blue team is playing a white team, I want the red and blue team to win. But I'm also like, I have eyes and I can see and I can compliment the team, and I don't have my pride shoved so far up my ass that I can actually, that sounded weird, but I'm not so prideful that I can compliment the team when I see that they're playing well. And let's just get right into this video. What Real Madrid has done this season is honestly fucking remarkable, bro. And to me, it starts right before the season even started, before the ball was even kicked. And it started with Karim Benzema and the fact that he left the club. Obviously, Karim Benzema, a Real Madrid legend, one of the greatest players to ever play for that club, and that's saying a lot because that club, you could argue, has the greatest legends in the history of football. I mean, almost every all-time greatest player for Real Madrid, or a lot of them at least have. And he leaves the club. Obviously, he did everything at Real Madrid. He completed football over there. He won his Ballon d'Or. He won his UCL post Ronaldo. He fucking won his Pichichi. He won everything. He won this. I think did he win a Golden Boot? I think he won his Golden Boot as well. Maybe not. He actually did not win a Golden Boot. He won everything basically. Whatever. You guys get what I mean. He won everything, and he decided, you know what? I'm done here. My time here has been like, I've done everything I had to do. I'm gonna go collect the check in the Saudi League, which good for him. But post Karim Benzema, everybody thought, okay, we're losing Benzema, but we're gonna bring in. By the way, I'm saying Real Madrid fans. I'm not obviously not one of them, but Real Madrid fans thought, you know what? We lose Benzema, we're gonna bring in Mbappe, right? Because Kylian Mbappe, his dream is to play for Real Madrid, and he wants to go there. But for the second straight season, he swindles them. He just ends up going back to PSG for more money after getting leverage out of Real Madrid, which is obviously could be very upsetting to Real Madrid fans. I get it, but you know what? That's Kylian Mbappe. You can't really trust that guy. So he doesn't come to the club. And even after that, you lose your goalkeeper, Thibaut Courtois, who's the best goalkeeper in the world, if not in the argument for top two, him or Alisson. You lose him to an ACL injury, so he's going to be out for the rest of the season. You lose Eder Militao, who's one of the best young center backs in the world, again to another ACL injury. So that's two of your best players, two of the most important pieces, if not the two most important pieces. I could argue the two most important pieces to that back line. They are gone for the rest of the season. ACL, that is actually a career-threatening injury. I mean, ACLs it really never heals the same. But anyway, speedy recovery to them. I hope nothing but the best, and I hope they get back next season stronger than ever. But anyway, you lose those two guys, right? So you're going into the season, you don't have a number 9, and two of your best players are gone. But they've actually been better than last season. I mean, in the league, they're number 1. They have, I think they're tied, obviously, with Girona, but they beat Girona head-to-head, which people don't really talk about. The fact that they spanked Girona 3-0, thoroughly outplayed them away from home. In the UCL, they finished first in their group, scored, I think they were third in most goals scored in the UCL, behind Man City, I think Atletico Madrid. Those are the only two clubs that scored more goals than them in the group stages. And, they didn't lose a single game. 18 points out of a possible 18, and now they're going to go into the round of 16 to play Leipzig, and I favor Real Madrid heavily in that tie. Injuries or not, they're going to win. They're going to beat Leipzig. No, I don't really I'm not really going to discuss that right now because it's still not going to. It hasn't happened yet. But I picked them to beat Leipzig, obviously. And they look like one of the favorites to win the UCL, which I think most people didn't expect before the season. Now, obviously, Real Madrid in the UCL, they're European royalty. They've won the most UCLs in the history of football, obviously. It's their competition, so they're never really out to win the UCL. But when you looked at the big boys, obviously, you looked at Bayern Munich, they got Harry Kane. You looked at Man City, of course. You looked at Arsenal. You looked at teams, obviously, like PSG, even if you want to throw them in there. Even, I think, Barca. Some people thought that Barca were going to perform better in the UCL than Real Madrid. But they look like one of the favorites, and I would not be surprised if they go to Wembley and win the UCL. Honestly, come June, because I think they've been that good. And I think it really starts with one guy. I want to talk about the players later on, but I want to start with Carlo Ancelotti, who a lot of people wrote off last season, football fans, not just Real Madrid fans, because obviously they're going to talk about Carlo Ancelotti the most because it's their manager. But I think football fans overall thought that Carlo Ancelotti had lost his fastball. Carlo Ancelotti famously gets talked about as a manager who has no tactics. It's just man management. It's just like vibes, right? It's good vibes. But I think that's kind of ignorant for some people because he is a guy that has won every single top 5 league and he's won 4 UCLs, which is the most in the history of football. Now, yes, he's had some amazing teams everywhere he's been. But, I mean, you don't just, you got to have some tactics in there too. You got to be a good manager in order to win those competitions. And he's done it better than anybody. And, last season, you could argue Real Madrid had a down season, even though for them, a down season is finishing second in the league, winning the Copa del Rey, and knocking out your biggest rivals on your way to winning a Copa del Rey, and losing in the UCL semifinal to a team that won the treble. Now, obviously, they got spanked by Man City in the UCL semifinal, but that Man City team is one of the greatest teams of all time. I don't really blame them for that. They were not on Man City's level, but they still managed to beat Chelsea, and they managed to beat Liverpool in the quarterfinals in the round of 16, which, is amazing for them. So a down season for them is not really a down season, but still, Real Madrid, they compete for UCLs, obviously, in La Ligas, which they didn't win either of them. But seeing what Carlo Ancelotti has done this season is insanely good. First of all, obviously he has a lot of riches to work with when it comes to the midfield. Valverde, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Bellingham, Kroos and Modric. I mean, you have 3 of the best or 4 of the best young midfielders in world football right now, and you have 2 Rolls Royces of midfielders, Kroos and Modric, who are older but still have so much quality. And one thing that Carlo Ancelotti figured out early on, and I read this in an article, by the way, which I'll credit in the video, I'll probably post a screenshot of it, but this guy was talking about how in the beginning of the season, Ancelotti dropped Kroos and Modric from the starting 11, right? So he was starting Bellingham, Camavinga, Valverde, and Tchouaméni. They're 4 young players. And he noticed after Celta Vigo and after Atletico Bilbao that the attack wasn't really flowing like it's supposed to be. So after that, what did he start doing? Since the Celta Vigo game, the 2-1 that they beat them in, he started Kroos or Modric, one of the two in every single game. And obviously the one game that he started both of them in was a disaster because they lost to Atletico Madrid and they got outrun and outworked in that midfield. You cannot start Kroos and Modric in the same midfield in the year 2024, especially not against a team like Atletico Madrid, because you know what? They just don't have the legs behind them, okay? They can't cover that much ground, and you're putting too much pressure on Vini and Fran Garcia, and they got exposed out on the wings in that game, which we saw because almost every goal that they conceded was from a fucking corner, which is still a weakness for Real Madrid this season, like conceding from corners and defending that space in the 6-yard box. But you know what? They're dealing with it pretty fine. But anyway, so he figured that out, right? So he decided, you know what? I'm not going to start the 4 young players anymore. I'm going to have one of these guys in there because they provide some, like, tranquility and some, they just have this brain about them because they just know how to operate in the final third. Toni Kroos and Luka Modric know how to progress the ball forward. They know how to get players in the right space, and they know how to read a game as well as anybody in the history of football, not just currently in football, but in the history of football. So he noticed that, and he started doing that more often. And that's great, bro, because you want a manager to look at the squad and see that something's not working and not be so stuck up in his ways. And a guy like Carlo Ancelotti, who's old and has won everything, he could very easily be like, you know what, I'm not going to change shit. We're going to figure it out. But he decided, you know what, I'm going to change something. I'm going to put my older players in there because they actually know how to facilitate the game and they know how to assist, they know how to pass in the final third, and it's working for them. Like I said, they're one of the top goal scoring teams in Europe. So I want to give props to Carlo Ancelotti words too, because this guy, like I said, a lot of people thought he was washed. He's looking like he could coach 2 or 3 more years for Real Madrid. He's been that good this season. So I want to say props to him because he's been amazing. The way he's been reading the game and the way he's been, that second half against Barcelona tactically, he outclassed Xavi in every way. That was a tactical masterclass. As soon as Luka Modric came in and Camavinga came in, that game flipped on his head. Okay, so props to Carlo Ancelotti. The guy is amazing. Now I want to get to the players. Their players have been stepping up, bro. Joselu, he misses a fuck ton of chances, but he still scores. He scores some goals, and he's been really good for them. He's been a number 9 that has actually been serviceable. He's been better than Lewandowski this season. I'll tell you that right now. I would rather have Joselu at Barcelona than fucking Lewandowski. That's just my opinion. I'm not sure about how you guys feel, Barca fans, but you can let me know in the comment section. Vinicius Jr., he started off kind of slow, but he had some games where he picked up and he played really well. Rodrigo, he got injured, I'm pretty sure, against Alaves, which I'm not sure how long he's going to be out for. But, dude, post like that Messi choke, he's been one of the most informed players in the world. The guy's been scoring goals for fun. And obviously, we got to talk about Jude Bellingham. I got to be honest, guys. If you watch my TikToks, you know my take on Jude Bellingham before he ever got to Real Madrid. Now, I must say this. The only reason why I had that take is because I saw him in the second half of the season at Dortmund, and I thought he was subpar. I thought the second half of the season when Dortmund bottled the league, I thought he was not great, okay? But still, Jude Bellingham comes in, and I said he was going to be a flop and that the English tax was ruled with him. I was wrong. I'm man enough to admit that I'm wrong. Okay, I was wrong. Like I said earlier in the video, I don't have my pride so far up my ass that I can't admit when I'm wrong. And I was wrong about Jude Bellingham. He's looking like the Ballon d'Or favorite right now. And he's been on form, the best player in the world this season. And he's missed 2 games as well. Like, he's missed a couple games because of a shoulder injury, but still, he's still the top goal scorer, I'm pretty sure, in every single league. The guy's assisting, scoring for fun. He can play as an 8, he can play as a 9, he can play as a 10, he can play as a 6. The guy can track back and win the ball, progress it forward, and then fucking score a goal. His instincts in the box are amazing. His ability to understand space, which is something that's very underrated about footballers. How well can you understand space and how well can you find the space, those weak zones in the defense? He does that as well as anybody. And, tap-ins or not, bro, you got to have some skill to score tap-ins. like those ricochets, man, he's in the right position every single time, and that's why he's been so good this season. And he doesn't just score tap-ins, by the way. He scored a banger against Barcelona. Obviously, we saw that goal, and he was amazing in that second half of that game. I thought Gavi was better for the majority of that game, but Jude Bellingham scored 2 goals, and he made the difference for that team. So props to him. Also, another thing that I forgot to mention about Carlo Ancelotti. I'm sorry for like jumping around, but you guys know how these videos are. My brain's going 1,000 miles per hour. I guess you can tell by how fast I talk. But anyway, Carlo Ancelotti, bro. Another thing that I gotta give him props for. His team has dealt with so many injuries this season. Every single one of his best players has been injured. Like I said, Jude Bellingham missed a couple games. Fucking Vinicius Jr. is going to be gone until February. Rodrigo got injured again. Camavinga, Tchouaméni, fucking all his players. Carvajal has been injured. His whole back line has been hurt. And this guy's still managing to win games. And win games, not just winning, by the way, win them convincingly, which is something that other teams and other managers can't do. And you guys know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about my club. Okay, we can't do that, but they seem to be able to do that. And I don't want to hear that Real Madrid has a better squad than us, because I think that on paper, when you made a Barca and Real Madrid starting 11 before the season, you would have more Barca players than Real Madrid players in there. Or it would be 50-50. So whatever, I don't want to get into a Barca discussion now, we're talking about Real Madrid. But, you know, I got to give him props for that as well. The fact that he's been dealing with all these injuries to his squad, and he still has them in pole position to win 2 out of the 3 biggest trophies this season, is amazing. But anyway, Jude Bellingham, like I mentioned, I was wrong about him. The guy's been insane. Toni Kroos has been one of the best midfielders in the world over the past year. He's been that good. Luka Modric, every time he comes in, he makes an impact. Fucking Dani Carvajal, I said last season he was washed. He's been amazing this year. Amazing, bro. He's been so good. Rudiger, best center back in the world currently on form. I mean, really, it's him or Saliba, right? Because I think he's been that good this season. Lunin has been great. Fucking, I don't know, Kepa, he's good, but I don't really fuck with Kepa. I don't know why. I just dislike him a lot for some reason. Tchouaméni, I mean, dude, Tchouaméni is going to be one of the best midfielders in the world for a long time. Camavinga is fantastic. What a great player that he is, bro. He can play in the midfield. He can play as a left back. I mean, the guy is just so versatile and so good. And honestly, as a Barca fan, I'm scared of this team, bro. I'm truly scared of this team, because they seem to have this core figured out for the next 10, 15 years. And, you know, I don't know what the fuck, and we know how good they are, bro. So, for me, I want to give props to Real Madrid, because I think that this season they've been so good. I mean, the games against Napoli in the UCL, the games against Union Berlin, in the La Liga, they've been amazing, obviously. The only team that they lost to was Atletico Madrid, like I mentioned. Did I mention that, by the way? I'm not sure if I did. But to me, it's just been it's been really crazy to watch them. It's not been good, it's not been fun, because obviously I don't root for that team ever. But it's been crazy to watch how good they've been with all the like obstacles that they've had to overcome. And, you know, to me, when I look at Real Madrid play, they don't have a philosophy when it comes to football like a Barcelona. And I think Real Madrid works best when they have a manager like Ancelotti who can implement tactics but can kind of just let the players be. When you look at Real Madrid under Rafa Benitez and Julian Lopetegui, who are 2 managers who are extremely fucking hands-on, who need everything to be perfect, every player has to stick to one position, it doesn't work. Both of those guys flopped at Real Madrid. But with a guy like Carlo Ancelotti, who's amazing at letting his players do what they need to do, I mean, occupy the space that they need to occupy, and just kind of find their groove in the game. And players with that amount of talent, like a Jude Bellingham who's amazing at understanding the game, guys like Fede Valverde who's amazing at understanding the game, Rodrigo and Vini who are fantastic talents. Obviously, dude, I forgot to mention, even Brahim Diaz, bro. Brahim Diaz has made an impact every single game he's played this season. The guy's been fucking insane. A guy who a lot of Real Madrid fans thought was going to get no playing time this year, he comes in and he's been fantastic for them. So good Brahim Diaz has been. So, like, to me, watching that team play and watching what they've been able to do, again, it's not fun for me to watch that, because obviously I actively root against that team. Every game that they play, I want them to lose. But again, I can't be so naive and so dumb as to not give them credit, not give those players credit, not give that manager credit for what they've been able to accomplish this season, which is honestly nothing short of remarkable. So my Real Madrid fans that follow this, I hope you like this video, man. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to talk about Real Madrid. And yeah, bro, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. I'm not going to sit here and be a troll. I'm not going to sit here and be annoying about it. They've been fantastic. They should be part of this team. I think Fran Garcia leaves a little bit to be desired to me, their left back position. If they can go out in the summer, maybe reinforce that with an Alphonso Davies, or maybe they get Grimaldo or something. I don't know. They're going to be really dangerous. But I think that's the one position that they're lacking. And then obviously, if they get Kylian Mbappe, this team's going to be unstoppable. With that talent and Kylian Mbappe and a good left back, Man City can fuck off, because Real Madrid are fucking coming for them. Now, do I think they're going to win the league and they're going to win the UCL? I do not think they're going to win the UCL. I think they'll get to the semifinals. Maybe they can even get to the final. Now, if Real Madrid gets to the final, I don't know holy shit, what the fuck was that? Sorry. If Real Madrid gets to that was fucking weird. My bad. If Real Madrid gets to the final, you know, they've lost, I think, 3 UCL finals in their history, so they don't really use UCL finals. The last one that they lost was in 1981 to Liverpool. So if they get to the final, they might as well, they might just go on and win it. I don't think that's going to happen. And in La Liga, I favor them over Girona. Now, I obviously want Barcelona to win the whole thing because, again, they're my club and I want my club to win trophies. I think we're two behind them. I think we're behind both of those teams right now. I think the fact that they both beat us at home is sad, and they both thoroughly outplayed us in those games. Actually, no, the Real Madrid game, we outplayed them for the first 60 minutes, but then when it really mattered, they just scored the 2 goals, and they were the better team than us towards the end. Again, a lot of that has to do with the fact that Ancelotti was more innovative with his tactics, and he actually came out and wanted to... Sorry, I had to burp. He wanted to go out and equalize the game. I burp a lot in these fucking videos. I feel like every video I say, sorry, I had to burp, but I was just eating, sorry. So he comes out and he actually, like, puts in a game plan, puts in players to actually go out and get a result, and our manager decided to just kind of sit back and throw in Romeo for no reason. But anyway, I just feel like they're in really good position to win everything this year. Not win everything, because Real Madrid doesn't win troubles. It's something that they never do. They don't. Like, Real Madrid can win every... Like, if Real Madrid win the UCL and the La Liga, they're not winning the Copa del Rey. Or if they win the Copa del Rey and the UCL, they're not winning La Liga. Okay, they're not going to win troubles. They don't have that in their DNA. Only some clubs have that in their DNA, and we know what those clubs are. Vizca Barça. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to give them props because I think that what Ancelotti has done this season is amazing. I think what Jude Bellingham has done this season was amazing. I think what all the players have done this season is amazing. I mean, games like the one against Alaves showcase that perfectly. Nacho Fernandez gets sent off. You're playing with 10 men away from home in a game that's been really cagey, really sloppy, and you go out and you get a result. Lucas Vazquez scores a goal. You know, and then you have games like the ones they played against Girona where they beat them 3-0, or the one they played against Valencia where they beat them 4-1. You know, so they have games where they can get out a result when it's tough, and they also have games where they can pummel a team. And to me, that's the perfect balance for a great team. You know, you can beat teams close, but you can also blow teams out. So yeah, again, I hope you guys enjoy this video. To all my Real Madrid fans watching this, I hope I made you happy and I made you proud. But don't get used to this, by the way. This is not going to happen a lot. I'm not going to come over here and praise them that often. Just wanted to do it today because, again, I love talking about football. And they're the most popular football team in the world. So I love you guys, man. Thank you so much for watching this video. Link to my Discord is in my bio. If you want to go join, we can chat on there live. I love talking to you guys on there. And yeah, thank you guys so much for the support on this channel so far. Honestly means the world to me. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.